Welcome in. Today we're going to be doing this rose tone painting here. This is based on the Bob Ross episode called Shades of Grey, where he famously talks about making a painting for somebody who said that they were colorblind and couldn't paint. Of course, Bob said, "That's nonsense, let me show you." So he made this painting over here on the television episode Shades of Grey, and he actually didn't use black and white. He actually used a mixture of Van Dyke brown and Prussian blue to make a gray. And then of course just added white to it. And then he also, in that episode, he also showed a version that he did in brown tones right over here. So that made me think like, ooh, you can do this in any color. So that's why today we're gonna be doing it in the rose tone. All right then, so let's go ahead and get started. So as you can see, I just have a 16 by 20 canvas that's already been gessoed and primed and everything, so that's already good to go. So the tools I'll be using today, I'm going to be using the 2-inch brush mainly for the background, the clouds and all that. 1-inch brush, that's going to be mainly for bushes. You can use either knife, big one or small one, 5 or 10, mainly for the mountains. And then I've got my fan brush here. I prefer the bigger fan brush. It's easier for me to get it a chiseled edge for the evergreen trees. So that's just my preference there. And then I have a script liner too. We may or may not use it. He's got a dead tree in his painting. We might put it in. We'll see. We'll see when we get there, right? Alrighty. And then, like I said, the only colors I'm using today, it's just a mix of alizarin crimson and dark sienna to get this kind of like rosy color. So I'll show you on my palette what it looks like here. So that's it, just the dark sienna and alizarin crimson, about half and half. But of course you can put it more to the red side, more to the brown side. The dark sienna is already a warmer brown. The Van Dyke brown is a cooler brown. So, you know, when Bob did his Shades of Grey, he used Van Dyke brown and Prussian blue, so it's more of a cool tone. And this is the exact same color. Oops, got pink on my finger there. This is the exact same color with a little bit of white in it, so you can see the difference there. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. Just wipe that paint off of my finger. And then we're gonna go ahead and first thing we're gonna do is put on the liquid white. So grab your 2-inch brush here and dip it into your liquid white. And we just want a nice thin, even coat here. So I dipped it about like, so you can see how much I dipped in there. And I'm just gonna tap around. This is the messiest part, so watch out. And then I'm just gonna do these little crisscross strokes just to get a nice even coating here. You can see, you can probably see the paint flying. So I'm gonna need a little bit more of that. So a little more, I'm gonna tap around here. So the reason I'm tapping is just to get an idea here. Instead of just going in and crisscrossing right away, then you know wherever you start, you're naturally gonna have more paint in that area. Okay, so just crisscross all over. And then we're also gonna go up and down, left and right. And we're gonna do a little test as well. So I'm gonna take my fingers and I'm just going to just press slightly in like 5 different areas, just to kind of make sure we got a good coating all over. So what you're looking for is you want to still be able to see your fingerprints there. If you can't see your fingerprints and all you see is white paint, then you got too much. So you can either wipe it off with a like a shop towel, or you can take a piece of what is it called? Paper towel, and just put it on and then just crisscross to soak some of that on. You don't want to take the paper towel and smush it on because then you get little fuzzies in your painting. You don't want to do that. And to clean our brushes during the painting process, we're just going to be doing this. It's going to be holding the paper towel in one hand and then just doing this little circular grindy motion with the brush. So that's all we're going to be doing. We don't really want to touch the paint thinner until you're completely done, because these big brushes, they really hold on to the paint thinner, and if you get paint thinner into your painting, it's ruined. So I don't want to do that. You can clean the smaller brushes with the paint thinner during the painting, like fan brushes, filberts, and script liners, because those ones you can just pat dry. So that's no big deal. So we're just going to wipe off the fingerprints there. We got a little hair here, so you get a hair, just poke it out. Boop. That's the corner of your brush. So that's looking good there. So now we've got white all over the whole thing. So normally in another hair there, in a regular Bob Ross style painting, you would go in with the blue, make a blue sky and water and everything, but well, we're not going to do that because it's monochromatic. So what we're going to do, we're going to go straight into the color, and we're going to start off making some clouds. All right, so I'm just wiped off as much as I can there. And so I'm just going to grab just a little color. So I'm just going to use the corner of my brush, just dab down a little bit, and see how I'm just tapping in just a little bit of color. Just a little bit of color. Just a little bit. The red's strong too, so. All right, and then all I'm gonna do is just gonna take just the corner of the brush, and we're just gonna do these little circular motions. Now, for me, I don't know if it's because I'm right-handed or what, but it's easier for me to do kind of like a counterclockwise kind of circle. It's really hard for me to go the other way. I don't know why. So let's try it the other way. So actually that's not too bad there. So I got this little circular thingies going here. So just using just the bottom corner. Oh, see, I reverted to the other I reverted to the other one. It's funny how that is. So basically, we're just worried about the tops of our clouds here. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and wipe off my brush there. So a lot of this method is putting down paint, wiping out the brush, and then blending it out. So you're going to do a lot of that. So now I'm going to go back in, and I'm going to go the other way because I like going the other way better. There we go. So now I'm just going in and I'm just blending. And you can, it depends how much you want to blend. See how much it's disappearing there? That's the cool thing about oil paints. If there's anything you don't like, you can pretty much just blend it away. And when we blend away the bottom like this, it leaves it open for us to put another layer of clouds in. So I'm basically going to leave that little white area there. Well, maybe I'll touch it just a little bit just to bring a tiny bit of color in there, but pretty much white. Mostly white. So it's kind of like a little break in the sky there. Maybe kind of, Yeah, it's breaking right there. There we go. Yeah, that's good. I kind of like that. Maybe a little more blending there. There we go. This is a really cool color. Me too. I'm just going to blend just a little bit more out here. Again, totally up to you how much you want to blend. You can keep it really, really streaky and painterly, and you can see like the actual brush strokes and everything, or not, or you can blend so that you don't see the brush strokes. So we're going to go ahead and put in another layer of clouds. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. Let's grab a little bit of that color, drag it down, and tap it into the bristles. You want to tap it in so you get a nice even distribution of that color. See that? There we go. Yep. But you don't need a whole lot of color for this. Don't need a whole lot of paint. Okay. Oh, that's the other thing. You can see, because this is like a monochromatic painting, see how much paint I mixed up? That's a lot of paint. See it for my face, for comparison. That's a lot of paint. Or my hand. There you go. That's like almost my entire palm of my hand. But it's just a massive pile of paint. Kind of looks like a xenomorph there. Oh dear. Anywho. So let's keep going with our little clouds here. But the thing is, you don't want to run out of that paint, because fortunately it's only two colors mixed together, so it's not too hard to get that color again, but you know, easier that way. And if you have any paint left over, just throw it into a Ziploc bag, throw it into the freezer, use it for another painting later. And sometimes when you mix colors like this, it gives you other ideas for other paintings. So I'm already planning in the future doing, with these colors here, doing like a really deep in the forest kind of waterfall painting, something like that. So see, I'm already coming up with more ideas. All right, so let's go back in here. See, my hand just doesn't want to go clockwise. It wants to go counter. And that's okay. Okay, that's pretty good there. So let's go ahead and do the same thing. Just wipe out the excess paint. I'm just gonna fine tune the tops of the clouds there. And now I'm just blending out the bottoms there. So somebody was asking me, they were saying that when they were fluffing up their clouds, that they were getting these little stringy things. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, sometimes if you watch Bob and he puts these little clouds in, he'll do this motion where he, and he kind of like, with like barely touching, like I said, 2 hairs and some air, he'll do this motion where he kind of fluffs up the clouds. And the problem is when you do that, you get those little stringy things. And personally, I don't care for them. When I was learning how to do clouds, and we got those little stringy things and we were like concerned about them, basically we were told it's just part of the process. And that, personally, for me, I don't care for those little stringy things, so that I don't do that little fluff up motion. So totally up to you. If you want to do the fluff up motion and maybe get those little stringy things, you know, it's up to you. You can go back and like I said, because it's oil, you can go back and kind of blend out the stringy things, but for me, it's just too much of a hassle. So I think they're fluffy enough without it. So just my personal opinion. But you know, everyone's different. Everyone's painting process is a little different, and everyone's painting is going to turn out different. And that's what's great about art. You know, there's something for everybody. You just got to find what works for you. And as Bob said, if it works for you, then it's right. But I mean, you know, and Bob does so many different types of clouds too. So that's the other thing. I think we're just going to fill up our whole canvas with clouds here. Excuse me. I don't know. I'm going to make that one a little thinner. Just change the shape of that. You know what? I'm physically going to change the shape of it. There. These three mounds look too similar, so I just want to change up the shape a little bit here. There. That's better. I might put in, yeah, one more layer. One more layer. I see how I kind of started in the middle, and I'm kind of working my way out here. Kind of like one of those like Renaissance ceiling paintings that you would see, where you have your little angels popping out here. Raphael angel. I mean, you could put one in if you want. You could put a cabin in the clouds if you want. It's your painting. All right, one more layer here. I think we'll do. So let's tap out a little bit more. Okay. And then, let's see. Yeah, something like that. We're not going to see all that one because there's going to be mountains in here and everything, so. Okay, I think that's pretty good for the shape of the top there. So let's go ahead and wipe that out. I was halfway between saying out and off, so I went to out. Making new words. Make new words by combining old ones. All right, same thing, just blend out the bottom. Like I said, most of these clouds are going to get covered up by mountains, but at least we have them here as background. And of course, this is a good way, like if there's any part that's you feel is a little dark, then yep, just go in and blend it out. Or if you feel you need another layer, now's the time. Or any parts you want to soften up, you think some parts are a little too harsh. Let's see here. Okay, well, we have a lovely cloud painting. All right, let's put in some mountains. Just gonna wipe off the 2-inch brush there. But look, that was only 20 minutes. Like 20 minutes, you got a whole bunch of clouds. Look at that. Look at that. And of course, you know, you don't have to try to keep up with me or anything. I mean, that's the beauty of doing this on YouTube. Pause, go back. That's what I did when I was first starting this, you know, learning this method. I watched from Bob Ross videos, and I would pause, go back, pause, go back, pause, go back. So it would take me like, you know, like a couple days when I was first starting out. I was also having trouble with getting the highlights to stick. Of course, I wasn't using the Bob Ross paint too, so that was another issue. So, but it would take me a couple days to do. And then I got faster and faster and faster. And so don't worry about the speed. You know, Bob says this, don't worry about the speed. You know, get the technique down. The speed will come. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about trying to keep up with me or trying to keep up with Bob. Bob had to do those paintings in 26 minutes. And even he didn't do them in 26 minutes initially. He painted the same painting multiple times in order to get it down to 26 minutes. So, yeah. Okay, so we have two mountain ranges. So we have the one over here on the right side that's a little further away, and then the one over here is a little closer. So the base for this mountain is gonna be darker. It's gonna be that exact dark color down there. But the one that's further away, it's further away from us, so we're not gonna see as much detail, so it's gonna be lighter. So let's go ahead and let's make up a base color for that. So we got this color going on. Let's go ahead and just, yeah, take some of that, and more. And more. Okay, all of it. I think that's pretty good. I think that's going to be pretty good. As long as it's lighter than this, that's basically what we're looking for. I just want the closer mountain to have the darker base. Yeah, this will be good. This will be good. And of course, to mix the colors, I'm just picking up, flopping it down. That's it. Okay, so make a flat little roll there, and then kind of hold. You can hold your knife straight up and down, or a little angled. Basically, you just want to slice across and get a little roll of paint. Okay, so mountain range number 1. Let's go over here. I'm just kind of making it, see how I'm just kind of making the top jaggedy? Just want it to look like nice and natural. So sometimes Bob makes a mountain just right in the middle. These ones are going right up to the edge. And see, for the inside of the mountain, I'm just kind of wiping off my knife there. Because we're not too concerned about the inside. We want color on the inside, but not too concerned about it right now. I think that's pretty good for that one. So let's go ahead and wipe off the knife there. And then, since this mountain's a little smaller, you can either do this next step with 2-inch brush, but as you can see, it's kind of big. So I'm going to use the 1-inch brush. And basically what we're doing on this step, we're just taking this color that's inside, and we're just spreading it out. And this step here is basically just making it easier for us to put the highlight and shadow on. So that's about it there. And we're just kind of filling in the inside of the mountain. So see how I'm kind of pulling the color down to here. So I'm kind of imagining like the base of the mountain, like right about there. And then I'm just gonna wipe this off real quick. And then I'm gonna go back one more time. And then just kind of blend out the bottom there, just a little crisscross motion. That's it. That's it. Oh, I got a hair. Oop, there it is. All right, that's a good deal. So now, we're gonna go ahead and put highlights and shadows. So I'm just gonna go straight, oh, let's see, or do I want a little bit? Yeah, let's go straight white. Let's go straight white here. So I'm just gonna go this white and I'm just gonna do the same thing, just drag it down. Make a little runway and cut off your roll of paint. Now I cut off a small roll of paint because these mountains are kind of small. I don't need a whole lot of paint. And so it's about like spaghetti noodle size. So I'm gonna start from the right side here. Basically just gonna line up the side of the brush here. See how the top of the, or the, did I say brush? You're gonna line up the top of the knife here with the top of the mountain so you can kind of see that it matches. Your knife looks like a mountain, and that's on purpose. So I'm just gonna go up here. You're gonna feel the paint grip on to the canvas. So at that point, all you need to do is just gently glide. Just act like you're shaving. Just gentle glide. Like that. So we're gonna need a little more, because that was just the first little crest there. So I got a little more here for our next one. Line it up and pull it down. And go in again. I'm actually going to make a little loop here. Loop. Make another little crest there. And I'll continue just dragging down just to fill in that area. But see how I sometimes have to do a couple passes because I'm gliding so lightly. And a little one here. Also, you can kind of see that my knife is like almost flat against the canvas there. I think I want this to come a little, oops, almost dropped the knife there. If you drop the knife, that's good. That means you're holding on to it loosely enough. So no pressure, no pressure. I see a lot of people put their finger on the metal part to kind of like guide it. Don't do that, because then you're putting pressure on it. Just hold it here. If you hold it very loosely, you see that I got pinky up. And see, I released a couple fingers there. Now I'm down to 3. Okay, that's good. So we got another little crest over here. I'm just gonna use the small part of the knife there. I just got a little bit of paint. I'm just gonna drag a little bit down there because we're not gonna see much of that one. So I'm gonna go into the shadow color. So all I'm gonna do here, it's gonna take a bunch of white. Just gonna put it right up here. We're just gonna flavor it a little bit with that rosy color. That's good. And again, just pull it out flat. It's kind of marbledy. You can leave it kind of marbledy like that. Get your little roll of paint. Okay. And let's see. Let's start with this one here. So what I'm doing now, see, I'm holding the knife the same way, loaded the same way, but this time we're going to go straight up to the middle and we're going to kind of pull towards us and down a little bit. So like kind of down and around. So it's kind of pull. Again, no pressure. So you see me go over things a couple times because sometimes I don't get the first time because it's so light. And this is when you decide, like, is that light enough? I don't know. Like maybe put a little more white in. Maybe a little more white. See, I can always go back with more white and then boop. Yep, there you go. A little more. I'm gonna go in with that color and we're gonna do this little crest over here. So I'm gonna do this way and I'm just gonna kind of swing it down here. I'm gonna go over it a little more because I want this color to be very, very subtle. There we go. I'm gonna do the thing I did last time and just put a little bit on the small part of the knife and go up here and just drag a little bit more down. Yeah, a little more, a little more. Little more. There we go. Sometimes you gotta get those sounds in there. Okay, that's better, that's better. Now let's do this one right up here. So I just got another little roll of paint. And I'm gonna go right up here and just, ooh, see, it was so light I didn't get any on. There we go. I'm going to do a little bit more here. There we go. Because I want to have a separation between this crest and that one. Keep going down that side of that mountain there. A little more, a little more. But see, you don't have to get it all in one swoop. So you can go back multiple times. There we go. All right, now let's get, well, let's do a little more here. Just a little bit more, and this little crest there. So see, I'm going back to the little part of the knife there because it's just a small little area. And now, let's go back to this one, back to the large side of the knife. So now you see why I like the small knife, especially these smaller mountains there. And then I'm just gonna go right up to the crest and then just drag it down. A little more, a little more. That's what a definition between those two swoops. Okay, that's good for our first mountain there. I'm gonna wipe off that knife. And let's grab the 1-inch brush here. You can just kind of finish off the bottom of the mountain by just kind of tapping a little bit and combining that like liquid white down here with the edge of the mountain. Just real subtle step there. Just making a little misty bit there. All right, so we got our distant mountain. Let's put our closer mountain in. So like I said, we're gonna go to, for the base color of this one, it's gonna be just that pure dark sienna and alizarin crimson here. So drag some of that down. This is a good one for mountain practice. Cut off your roll of paint. I got a big roll of paint there. I got a fettuccine size roll. And let's see. His is pretty much like straight across like that, but I don't know. Let's see where we go here. It's such a cool color. Yeah, let's do it. Let's make it a little higher. Now, where do we want our mountain to go here? Oh, let's see. Again, mainly just concerned with the top. It's kind of a steep one there. Let's stand back and see how we like the shape of that. I don't know, let me kind of leave it going off that way, kind of like how Bob did. Yeah, okay, I like that. I like that better. Okay, so that's pretty good. I'm gonna just sharpen up the edge of this one here. Oh, do I want, yeah, maybe just a little peak there. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Just wipe off the knife there. Okay, let's wipe the knife off on the paper towel. And I'll use the 1-inch brush again because I used it for the spreading down of the color on the other one. So let's do the same here. So I'm gonna start up here. Get around the canvas a little bit there. Again, just dragging this color down. Why not? Go all the way. I'll wipe some of that off. And again, just kind of imagining where the bottom of my mountain is. Yeah, somewhere about there. Oh, another hair. Oop. I should keep track of how many hairs I think that's 3 now. I think that's 3. It happens. All right, same thing. We're just gonna crisscross. Let's crisscross the bottom. Blend that out. Okay, something like that. So, just wiping off that 1-inch brush there. And pretty much just gonna do the same thing, highlight with white. Maybe, you know what, let's use the shadow color, or shadow value really, because it's all the same color. Let's use that for the highlight on this one. So it's got a little pink in it. Let's try that. So, cut and roll. Might need a little more paint this time because these mountains are a little bigger, so they're closer. But same principle. So just line it up, boop, and drag it down. not too worried about this area because I have plans for that area. I have an idea. Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go back in with no paint, and I'm just gonna go back in and just kind of drag the paint that's already there out a little further. Yeah, there we go. All right, now let's get some more paint. Little roll of paint. All right, same deal. And same thing. Grab some more paint. Let's do a little more, a little jaggedy edge over here. All right, and we have this little one back here. Let's go ahead and highlight him. This tiny one here. Boop. Yeah, don't need much for that one. And I think, you know, I'm gonna do the same thing for that one up there. I'm gonna go in with the little part of the knife and just put a little bit of highlight just right up here. Just drag a tiny bit. Because I'm gonna have this side going in front on that one. All right, nice roll of paint there, because this is the biggest one, so. Okay, same deal. Line it up, drag it down. Oh, ran out of paint. Grab some more. Okay. Same deal. Make it a little more craggy there. And let's get some more paint. I'm almost out of this paint, which is which is all right. And a little more. Just to finish that off here. Have that line going this way. A little hard to highlight around the very edge of the canvas here. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and throw some highlight in there. So let's grab, I think this, that color's a little too dark. Need a little lighter. So let's grab some white. Let's see here. A little lighter, I think that's gonna be good. Okay, actually gonna get a smaller roll here. There we go, smaller roll. And then same thing as before, just grabs from the center and pull outwards. And towards the base, it's kind of combining into one color here, just kind of meshing together. Okay. More of that color here. Actually, before we do that, let's do the little part of the mountain first there. So tiny part of the knife. Get all up in here. Drag it over. And down and around. We got that little section too. That's the only part about doing these little tiny craggy parts. You gotta go in and do tiny little highlights. I think it's worth it. And oh heck, let's do these ones too. Okay, now we just have that part left there. So I'll go back to the bigger part of the knife and grab and swoop, grab and swoop. Okay, let's stand back and take a look and see what we've got here. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. So let's go ahead and wipe off the knife here. I said I had plans for that. So let me show you my plans for that. I am going to take, this shadow color here. And we're just going to turn this into like kind of little dusty snow going up the mountain here. So I'm just going to take my 1-inch brush and just kind of tap. And notice how I have the handle pointing down towards the ground, and I'm basically just loading like the edge there. So that's what I'm going to be using to tap in that snowy grassy area. So we're just going to be just tapping very lightly here. I'm going to flip to the other side and get more color. Okay. I think maybe a little more up here. I want this line to be a little more fuzzy. So there we go. There we go. I want it to be more natural. And then it just blends into the start of the mountain there. Yeah, maybe a little more. Maybe a little more there. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And then I'm gonna take this brush and wipe it off. I'm gonna tap in a little bit of white, just a little. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. So I'm gonna hold it like horizontal ways again. And I'm gonna do the same thing just down here. Let's see, now we got some of that pink on there. There we go. So just some of that like snowy area kind of climbing up the mountain. Okay, I think that's pretty good there. Now since we got a little bit Get a little bit of that color on here, but I think I want a little darker here. So let's wipe off the 1-inch brush there. I'm going to dip in a little bit of the base color. Actually, you know what? Let's do just a little bit lighter than that. We're just gonna put some water in here. So all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go up here. I'm just gonna drag straight down, straight down. I'm gonna do a little less over here. Basically like the reflection of the mountain in here. That's basically what we're doing. Okay, that's good. Okay, let's wipe off that 1-inch brush here. I'm gonna go in and just do a little bit more over here just to make that a little softer. Wipe that off again. And then we're gonna go horizontal just to make it nice and watery. So, this is where Bob says 2 hairs and some air. Very light, very light, very light. Okay, looking good. See, we're already, so you see the land starting to form here. So let me go back into kind of that, yeah, that shadow color we were using there. Might have to go, actually, you know what? I think, I changed my mind. I'm gonna go straight white, straight white. Let's tap into the white here. Just gonna make a little land at the base of the mountain here. We already got a little bit forming, but I'm gonna do a little bit more here. It's just real subtle area. Okay, I think that looks good. Let's go back in to the darker rose color, and then we'll just hit a couple areas, just to have a couple darker areas in here. Yeah, maybe a little darker right in there. And again, I'm holding the brush horizontally there. Yeah, there we go. So a little more dimension now, a little punchier. And then I think I'll blend out a couple of these. Just make them a little softer. Okay, there we go. That's the softness. That's the level that I want. And maybe just a little area going down there. Okay, I think that is pretty good. But now I think I need to make this area a little lighter. So let's go back into the white. Yeah. And then let's tap. Let's tap, tap, tap. I tapped a little too high there. So that happens, that's okay. Let me just adjust the range a little bit. Actually, I just tapped it and tapped it out, so not a biggie, not a big deal. Let's grab a little more of that white and tap the base here. There we go. There we go. See how I added that white in there and it just like, it just pushed it back, made it less contrasty. Because the things that are closer to us are going to be more contrasty. So that's pretty good there. One more thing that I'm going to add to that area. I'm going to do a little bit of a waterline. So again, big brush, little brush, doesn't matter. I'm going to grab a little bit of liquid white. So I'm just going to put some liquid white on here. I'm going to flavor it a little bit with that rose. Excuse me. Flatten it out. The way I like to load it, I like to take my knife, come from the bottom, push it up like this. When you're pushing it up, you're literally just loading the edge of the knife, and that's what we want. We want it just on the edge of the knife. So we're going to go back here, and we're going to just act like we're sawing, and we're going to just drop it down. So when I mean drop it down, like stairs, like boop, like that. So don't angle it. Just don't angle it down like that. Let's try to get it. Yeah, just keep it horizontal and drop it down when you want to go down. Don't angle it down like that. Keep it horizontal, drop it down, drop it down. So let's go back in. Drop it, drop it. But see, when you're pushing hard like that, you're literally squeezing the paint out of the back end of that knife there. If it's a little too thick like that, you can go back in and just redo it. Just re-saw it in, just like that. Neat. Or just make a little coast, look at that. Easy, easy. Let's go back in. Let's see how I'm also loading frequently, reloading frequently when doing this. I'm gonna start from up here because this part's a little higher, so there we go. And again, just drop it down, drop it down. A little more here. There, cool. I got a little coast. Got a little coast. All right, so we've got background, middle ground. Now working on foreground. So let's go ahead and so we can either do this one of two ways. A lot of times, what Bob will do is he'll just start, right away with the trees, and he'll go boom, 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 put those trees in. Or you can put your land in first, and then that kind of like directs you, like, oh, okay, here's the trees are going to be here, and so forth. So I think I'm going to do it that way first. Let's do it that way. So I'm going to tap into the darkest color here. And so I'm going to make a little platform right here. So this will be a little land here for our tree to sit on. Just tap it in, just fill that area in, just nice and dark. Because because we're gonna be putting snow on top of that, so the darker it is, the better the snow is gonna show up. So have that contrast. And let's put, he puts a little projection out here. So let's go ahead and put a little projection out there. I'll do same color. And then just a little projection. Just a little platform. Just a little bit. Maybe we'll just have like one tree there or something. And you know what, since we got that going on, let's tap a little more color in there. I'll just show you real quick. Just tapping color in. Decent amount of color. Decent amount of paint. And heck, maybe we'll tap in some bushes while we're here, just to kind of see, maybe. Well, I'm just using the corner, the bottom corner. There we go. So just tapping in a little bush here. Let's do another one, like right here. Just make sure they're not like perfectly round, you know. Give them some character. Okay. I'll make that one a little more round. Okay, I think that's pretty good there. So usually Bob puts the trees in before the bushes. We're putting the bushes in before the trees. We're changing it up. That's okay. So now you have kind of more of an idea of where things are going to be laid out and everything. So I'm going to wipe out that 1-inch brush there. It's getting pretty. You see, we'll load a lot of paint in there, so I'm going to have to wipe a lot out there. But then we'll go over to our evergreen trees, which is my favorite part. Oh, let's take a little bit of color, tap it down here for reflections. You don't need as much color when you tap in the reflections because they're naturally going to be lighter. So like that. Okay. All right, let's go to my favorite part, evergreen trees. So get out your handy dandy fan brush. I was saying earlier, I like the bigger ones because it's easier to get a chiseled edge. Because here's the smaller one. What is this? I forget the numbers on these. 3 and 6. So the 3 is the smaller one. So these ones, I don't know, tend to get a little frayed at the end. So I just find the bigger ones easier to use. All right. So, evergreen trees. So I'm just going to wiggle to load here, and then I'm also going to just pull in one direction, both sides, to get a nice chiseled edge. You can do this as well, just a little crisscross. All right. And now you can see it's nice and chiseled. Nice and chiseled. And let me chisel one more time there. So to start our trees, we always start with making a little line. So I'm going to start over here first. I'm going to do so just tap in a little line there. I'm going to reload. A lot of paint for this. And we're going to start with the corner of your fan brush there. And I like to leave a little room at the top there and then go in with my branches there. So see how I start out? The branches are very short at the top, of course. I'm going to reload. So basically I tap a branch to one side, go back to the middle, go to the other side, back to the middle. Unless you want a little skimpy area in your tree, you can do that. The thicker your branches are, the easier it's going to be to highlight. If you make these like tiny, tiny branches that are basically the width of the chiseled fan brush, you're not going to have a whole lot of room for highlighting the tree, so keep that in mind. So that's our tree. That's our tree there. Now, if you want to get really fancy, you can make a reflection. So we're going to make a reflection there. Just tap in a little bit. Now, if you notice, when I was doing the branches, I had my handle pointing towards the ground. That's how you get your branches shaped that way. So, to get the branches facing the other way, handle up. So same thing, just use the edge of the fan brush there. And of course, it's a reflection, so it doesn't have to be like perfect or anything. Just an indication, just an idea. And then what we're gonna do, take your 1-inch brush, just wiping it out, make sure there's no gunks of paint in there. Reflections. Go to the horizon, or not the horizon line, but the water line. Gently pull down, just like that. And just like before, go across. So I wiped it off, and then now going across. There you go. Easy peasy. I think I went a little too far with that color there, so I'm just gonna, there we go. Blend that out. Easy, easy. Okay. So let's. We got one little tree and bush over here, so let's put some more stuff over here because we got more area to work with over here. Okay, so I'm reloaded my fan brush there. Oh, let's see. We have our bush here, so let's put a big old tree. Ooh, right there. Okay. It's there. It's there now. All right. Again, leave a little bit of room. Now, when you put a tree over a mountain like this, so this highlight paint that you put, it's on kind of thick. So if you're going to put a tree over a really thick part like that, you're going to need a lot of that base color for that tree. So you're going to have to reload frequently and really mash that color in there. All right, reload. See, I'm working my way down the tree and using more and more of the fan brush here. So part of him is going off the canvas now, so that's good. Ooh, I like that. But you know how we do. We need a friend. He needs a friend. So I'm gonna wipe this off first because I did go through that mountain. We went through a mountain. I collected quite a bit of that white, so I'm gonna wipe that off, just like that. And so I'll go back in now to that base color, reload, and let's give him a friend. Let's give him a friend right. Oh, yeah, right here. He's leaning too. He's leaning. little more up top. There we go. And get a little more paint. Okay, I think that's pretty good there. Okay, let's see. All right, smash that in a little bit more. Actually, let me smash it in with the 1-inch brush. All right, let's wipe off my 1-inch brush there. And, whoops, throw things on the floor. Wipe off the fan brush. Okay, so before we highlight our trees, we're gonna give them a little trunk. Give them a little trunk. So we don't really have any colors to choose from because it's all the same color. So just a mix of that base color in white basically. And let's use our little knife here. And we already have some of that over here, so let's just use that. Yeah, that's good. So I'll just flatten that out again. Yeah, maybe a little more white. There we go. Make it marbledy. And same thing as before, just cut across little roll of paint. Now, since I cut across this way, the paint is loaded on this side of the knife, I guess the left side there. Again, this is because I'm right-handed, so if you're left-handed, you might have to go the other way, but whatever works for you. So what we're going to do is we're just going to lightly touch. Boop, boop, boop. Just very lightly here. Boop, boop. Here too. Pew, pew, pew. I went a little thicker on that one just because the tree's a little thicker. A little thicker towards the bottom here too. Boop. There. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and wipe off that knife. So, back to our fan brush there. Since it's still got some of that color kind of stained in there, we can go ahead and just put that in some white. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the fan brush, I'm going to dip it into a little bit of liquid white, and then I'm going to dip it into the titanium white, just to make it a little thinner, like Bob says, a thin paint sticks to a thick paint. So see how I'm loading it? I'm just kind of tapping it like that, but see the little lines that are forming? That's what you want to see. That's what you want for your highlights. So we got these little lines going there. And then let's test it out over here. So I'm just gonna touch, ooh, see, and you want it to come off real easy, just like that. If it's not, yeah, there's no pressure here, just a little tap, just a little tap. If it's not coming off easy, if you're like smushing it in, you're gonna become a mud mixer. If it's not coming off easy, more liquid white. Do vertical, just do the top there. Okay, so he's good. So let's do the same thing for the other trees over here. So basically, I'm just touching the tops of the branches, because that's where it's going to have the snow. There we go. And the same thing on this last tree. I generally highlight more on the side of the tree that's facing the center of the painting, because I like to kind of draw the viewer's eye towards the center, so I feel that helps by doing that. So you can do that, or highlight the side of the tree where the light is coming through. Okay, a little bit up here. Okay. I think that's pretty good for our tree highlights. So let's wipe off that fan brush. We're actually not going to, well, are we going to, well, yeah, I think we'll use the fan brush one more time. So let's clean that off just a little bit there. Let's wipe that off with a paper towel. That's fine. Okay, so now we have, well, we kind of hit our bush there. So let me grab some more of that base color here. I'm going to re-put some of that bush in there. There we go. That's good. And then I'm going to wipe off that 1-inch brush. Wipe it off as good as you can there. All right, so I'm gonna grab, these winter scenes use a lot of white paint. So I'm gonna squeeze out some more titanium white. There we go. Yeah, for the highlights, you want a lot of paint, a lot of paint. Okay, so basically the same thing. I'm going to be dipping this 1-inch brush into the liquid white. So I kind of dip that much liquid white there. And I'm going to put it directly into that titanium white there. So since there was already a little bit of that rose color on there, I just tinted it a little bit. So what we're going to do here is I'm just tapping. We're going to do bushes 2 different ways. So here I'm just tapping, and you can see that kind of spongy texture there. That's what you're looking for. All right. And again, you want the color to be evenly distributed there on the brush. So we're going to do this one first since it's kind of far away. I'm just going to use the bottom corner of the brush. I'm going to start like at the top of the bush, and we're going to go rock around the clock. So we're going to go like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 11, and so on and so forth. Just tap and pull away, tap and pull away. And then, since we've got a little bit of that color left on here, I'm going to tap a little bit of that paint out, and then holding the brush horizontally, we're just going to tap a little bit of snow in here. There we go. Our little distant area right there. And let's finish off that area by doing another water line. So loading the exact same way as before, just coming from the bottom and pushing up on the edge. There we go. And sawing in. Do a little bit more. A little bit more. On the edge here, I'm just going to tap. Boop, boop, boop. So that's another way Another way you can do it there. Boop. There. Gives it a nice little texture. Okay, wipe that off. And then let's do the other way of highlighting a bush. So with this method, what you're going to be doing is, so I kind of tapped in that liquid white, so we're good. But now we're going to drag, pull up, drag, pull up, drag, pull up, drag, pull up, drag, pull up. And same thing, it's got that little like, nice spongy texture that we're looking for. Now as you're dragging, it's kind of curving the bottom there, so we're going to use that curved bottom and we're going to roll it towards the top. Same thing, we're going to rock around the clock. So we're going to go 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock, so on and so forth. And do it over here as well. A lot of paint, a lot of paint. And again, this, you know, just a gentle pressure. If it's not coming off with gentle pressure, you need more liquid white. Go in one more time just to put a little more. There we go. There we go. That's nice. Okay, so I'm gonna wipe that brush off. And then it's got one more thing to do. We got a little hill over here that we got to put some snow on. Oh, you know what? Let's tap a tiny bit of that white down here too for reflection. Now the light colors in the reflections, you have to go over even lighter than normal reflections because any pressure and they will go away. Very light, very light. Okay, one last thing. So I'm gonna go back to fan brush here. And I'm just gonna grab some of that white, or tinted white. Just gonna do that X loading there. X-Men style. And then, so I'm gonna take fan brush, kind of hold it almost vertically here, and we're just gonna drag and go the other side and just drag like that. Now, of course, as you do that, you're gonna be dragging off some of that base color, so you have to, to wipe off your fan brush and reload frequently. I'm gonna go over this section a little bit just to soften it up a little bit. Wipe that off. More white. Wipe that off. A little more in front there. See, the lighter area looks like it's like a hill in front of that one there. But again, you need a lot of paint for this, a lot of paint. A little more white over here. And soften this part up a bit. Part right under the tree there. again, wipe off. Wipe off, wipe off. Just keep on dragging. Keep on dragging. I'm gonna pile up my white here because I got a little dragged out. It's a little housekeeping there. And reload. And let's go back in here, redefine that hill. And a little more over here. Obviously this part is very thick, so it's gonna take a little bit to dry. Usually, for me, it takes like 2 to 3 weeks to fully dry in the summertime, but I live in Florida, so it's very humid here. So normally, yeah, in the summertime, like 2 to 3 weeks to dry. But in the wintertime, which it is right now for me, it's about a week, week and a half. So like a week for the thinner areas, thicker areas like these, it'll take about a week and a half. So give those areas a little extra time. Let's go over that gently here, very gently. Let's stand back and kind of see if we like that. Maybe a little lighter over here. Just don't want to get too light. There we go. That's what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for. So you see, you have like 3 planes here. So see how you have the light, 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 and then the dark, dark, dark. So that separates those little planes on the hill there. Okay. So I think we have a nice completed little painting here. Nice little rosy winter painting. Obviously, since this is monochromatic, you can do this in any color. You can do this in all yellow ochre. Yellow ochre would be very interesting because yellow is already very light colors. So the entire painting is going to turn out very light. Or, of course, black and white. Bob did. His gray is a mix of Prussian blue and Van Dyke brown, so that's how he got that one. Blue, of course, because winter, cold, blue. You can do it in like 2 colors. You can do teal and purple, whatever. I want to do a monochromatic purple winter scene, but I want to do it with the black canvas and do, like a nighttime scene because, I love my black canvas. What can I say? What can I say? All right, but I think we are done for today. So yeah, let me know in the comments. Did you go with this color scheme, the alizarin crimson and dark sienna, or did you go all brown? Like, did you go all dark sienna or all Van Dyke brown, or a mix of dark sienna and Van Dyke brown? I don't know. The possibilities are endless. So yeah, just let me know. Also, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification button. That way, whenever I upload a new tutorial, you'll be first to know. Alrighty, thanks for painting with me. Bye-bye.